Hey, what's up guys, it's Lowman back here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my playoff predictions here on Chell 19, and then I am going to simulate it. I have it on full sim, superstar difficulty, so it should be realistic as it gets, which probably not very realistic. And so there's a couple series that aren't guaranteed, but I just went with what I think would happen. So, I'll start in the East at the very top with the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And in this series, so Columbus is actually a really good team. They built themselves up at the deadline. I have Tampa taking this in 6 games. And now we got one of my more exciting series, because Chicago's not really in the playoffs, and I like to cheer for Leafs fans. If you're a Leafs fan in the comments, I'm sorry. But I have Boston taking this in 6. The Leafs have not been playing very well of late. The last few games, like the last 2 or 3, they've played alright. They've got Jake Gardiner and Travis Dermott back, so they should be playing better. But I still don't think they can beat Boston. Alright, now on to Washington versus Carolina. I think Washington is going to take this in 5 games. Mostly because Carolina is very inexperienced, and I feel like Washington has the better all-around team. Carolina has a very good defense though, and their defense and goalie could steal them 1 game, so that's why I'm saying it's going to 5. Now, New York Islanders versus Pittsburgh Penguins. I have the Islanders taking 2 games out of 6. So now moving on to the West, we got Calgary versus Colorado. So I feel like this is going to be a good series. I feel like Colorado doesn't have a very good chance in this, but they also have one of the best first lines in the league.
I have Calgary
now,
in 6.
We got the San Jose Sharks versus the Vegas Golden Knights. I have San Jose taking this in 7 games. It's gonna be a close one, and I literally, it's gonna be probably the closest series of this playoffs. Next, we have Nashville versus Dallas. I have Nashville taking this in 6 games. Next up, we got the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. I have Winnipeg in 5. Up next, in the second round, the Eastern semifinals, we have Tampa Bay versus Boston Bruins. So I think that Tampa will take this in 7 games. Up next, we have the Washington Capitals versus the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it will go to 7 games, and I think Pittsburgh Penguins will win the series. And then in the West, we have Calgary Flames versus San Jose Sharks, and I feel like they can just take it in 7 games, just because they're experienced and they have depth, they have amazing defensemen, and Martin Jones is a solid goalie. So next, we got Nashville versus Winnipeg.
I feel like Winnipeg can beat the Nashville Predators in 7 games again.
And so in the Eastern final, we have Tampa versus Pittsburgh. 2 complete powerhouses. 2 teams that have insane offensive. I'm pretty sure I've predicted this Eastern Conference Finals for the last 3 or 4 years. And this would be such a great series. I'd never want to miss a second of this series. 2 insanely good teams. Offensively, defensively, I give it to Tampa. Goaltending, I'd say Tampa is a bit better, but Pittsburgh can just go insane in the playoffs. They went back-to-back Stanley Cups. They can have their depth they can just be amazing. Like Brian Rust in the playoffs, he turns into a first-line forward and he can score so many points. He'll put up like a point per game. And I just feel like Pittsburgh can do it, but I still am going with Tampa in 7 games. So I feel like Tampa will make it back to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2015. That's not a very, very long time, but if you're as good as Tampa, it's a long time for that good of a team. In the Western Conference Finals, we got San Jose Sharks versus Winnipeg Jets. I feel like this is going to be another amazing series, but I feel like the speed and skill of Winnipeg can just overpower any team. So I feel like they can beat the San Jose Sharks in 6 games just because their offense. They've got Dustin Byfuglien back there. He is incredible. So in the finals, we have 2 amazing offensively teams. We have Tampa Bay Lightning versus Winnipeg Jets. This would be one of the best series ever. This would probably go down as one of the best Stanley Cup Finals ever. And I'm having a hard time deciding who I would pick, but I think Tampa will win a Stanley Cup here. Their first Stanley Cup since 2004. I think they will finally get their cup after being good for like 6 years, being a contender. Most people thought they were going to win the cup for the last like 4 years. The one year they didn't make the playoffs, which I don't know how they didn't squeak in there at least. But yeah, I feel like Tampa will win the Stanley Cup in 7 games against the Winnipeg Jets. I feel like their defense and their goaltending is just gonna be too much for Winnipeg, and then their offense is just I see their offense as like, I feel like Tampa's is more consistent, so I'm going with Tampa in this. So I think the 2019 Stanley Cup champions is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's see what EA thinks. Alright, so every team's played 3 games at least. Well, every team's played exactly 3 games. So, Calgary versus Colorado. Colorado's up 2-1. Nashville versus Dallas. Dallas up 2-1. San Jose versus Vegas. San Jose is up 3-0. Winnipeg versus St. Louis. St. Louis is up 2-1. Tampa versus Columbus. Tampa's up 2-1. Washington versus Carolina. Carolina's up 3-0. Boston versus Toronto. Toronto's up 2-1. And then Pittsburgh versus New York Islanders. Pittsburgh Penguins are up 2-1. Alright, so none of the series are over yet. Now that one's over. What an upset. Carolina sweeps the Washington Capitals. Alright, Vegas stays alive.
Alright, now we're heading to game 4. Colorado could win the series on this one, and they don't. Dallas could win the series here, but they don't. This series is tied 2-2. Tampa takes a 3-2 lead. This series could end here. San Jose could put Vegas out. They don't. St. Louis could put Winnipeg out. And they do. That was the first one in a while. Boston versus Toronto. Boston could put them out. Or Toronto could put them out. And Toronto does put Boston out of the playoffs. Alright, Pittsburgh could put New York out of the playoffs in this game. And they do. 4-1 series win. So a lot of these series ended in game 5. Colorado could win it here. And they win it. Alright, Dallas. Ooh, comeback from Nashville. Columbus versus Tampa. Columbus ties it up. It's going to a game 7. Vegas versus San Jose. San Jose wins the series in 6. Back to Dallas versus Nashville again. Game 7. And Dallas is moving on. An upset in the first round once again. Columbus versus Tampa. Columbus could win it. Oh, and they upset the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round. If that happens in real life, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. That would be like it would be like in Vancouver, it would be a riot in the streets in Tampa. It probably wouldn't though. And Dallas is moving on to the conference finals. So is Columbus. Alright, so we got 2 game 6s, San Jose versus Colorado, and Pittsburgh versus Carolina. Carolina is winning in this series. So is Colorado. Colorado. Oh my gosh. Are these all gonna be teams that most people aren't even giving a chance? Oh, it's going to a game 7. If Carolina wins this, I feel like if Pittsburgh wins this, they're gonna go on to win the Stanley Cup. Carolina wins it! There is no way. This is on full sim, so this is like the most realistic one too. Oh, both up 3-0. Colorado has a chance to move on to the finals here. And they don't do it. Carolina has a chance to go to the finals here. And they sweep! Oh, no way. They've lost 3 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. They swept the Washington Capitals. They swept the Columbus Blue Jackets. And they won in 7 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. There is no way Colorado can make it to the finals with this game. And they don't. Dallas is fighting back. They have a chance to push it to 7, but they don't. The Stanley Cup Finals, Colorado versus Carolina, and I can almost guarantee you this is not going to happen in real life. But it's possible. Anything is possible. But these are 2 underdog teams, and it's not. No one's really gonna pick this. Carolina up 1-0. Colorado tying it up 1-1. Alright, Colorado taking a 2-1 lead. I'm gonna start simulating these games now. Now that it's 2 games away from winning the Stanley Cup.
And they're already up 1-0. Colorado Avalanche. Five minutes in the first.
At the end of the first, Colorado Avalanche are up 1-0, looking to take a 3-1 series lead, and Niederreiter scores on Varlamov to make it 1-1. That was a terrible angle, but he still got it in.
A lot of wasted power plays here. And
Martinuk, if that's how you say it, makes it 2-1. Carolina heading into the third, looking to tie up the series. Niederreiter gets another one. Niederreiter scored from basically the same spot except on the other side of the ice. Colorado trying to bring this game back. Penalty kill. This is huge for Colorado. They killed it off.
if they could score in the last 4 minutes. 2-1. And they run out.
Oh, it's Justin Williams. Scores on an empty net with 1 second left. What a troll.
Alright, 2-2 in the series. Niederreiter has 24 points in 19 games. Oh, I accidentally said the game. But Carolina wins it. Alright, Carolina could win the Stanley Cup this game. The Stanley Cup is in the building. Colorado kills off an early penalty. They're getting dominated in shots on goal. Oh, Colorado, where are you? Are you gonna show up? Brassard scores for Colorado. So they do get the first goal, even though they were getting outshot like crazy. Carolina's back up in the shots. Oh, and Tyson Joss makes it 2-0 Colorado. (25-16) are the shots for Carolina, and they still can't put the puck past Varlamov. They're just throwing pucks on him, and they still can't get one by. 30 shots on net, 30 saves for Varlamov. 34 shots on goal, and they don't end up scoring one on 35 shots. Varlamov better be the first star of the game. And he is, with a 35 save shutout. So here we go, boys. Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals, Carolina versus Columbus, 2 underdog teams. And DeHaan scores to beat Varlamov for the first time on like 40 shots. Niederreiter scores. They're up 2-0, take an early 2-0 lead. Nino Niederreiter is playing out of his mind in these playoffs. Alright, good penalty kill for Carolina there. Halfway through the second, it's 2-0 Carolina. Colorado needs to get something going. They're getting dominated in shots on goal. Power play for Carolina, nothing. They need to get some shots on net. In order to win, you have to shoot the puck. They have 13 shots on net in the first 2 periods, and they're down 2-0. And Andrew Ghetto scores from a terrible angle, just like every other goal of the series pretty much, other than DeHaan's goal of the first period of this game. They have 7 minutes 30 seconds, 5 minutes 30 seconds, 4 minutes 30 seconds. Oh, counting down, 1 minute 30 seconds, and they don't end up scoring. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup. That's there's no way they go 16-6. But yeah, so comment down below who you think is gonna win the Stanley Cup, and if you want to make a bracket video, you probably should. I would watch that. So comment down below if you like who you predict to win the Stanley Cup. If you made a video, put the link down below and I'll go make sure to check it out. And see you in the next video.